they thought they could stop a demon, I'm back. The Zaza got me speaking Esperanto.
48 minutes of dogs barking. 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 Growl. Growl. 48 minutes of dogs barking. 48 minutes of dogs barking.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 48 Minutes of Dogs Barking. My name is Jason. This is Brian.
Hey.
Alongside for the ride today, today's guest is a 5-time alumnus of the show. He writes the newsletter, Where's Your Ed At? He's the voice of the podcast Better Offline. He wrote 2 best-selling PR books, Fire Your Publicist, and This Is How You Pitch. He is the CEO of media relations firm Easy PR. Recently, he appeared in a video with crypto investigator CoffeeZilla. Please welcome all the way from beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, the man, the myth, the legend, the one, the only, Ed Zitron. Hey, Ed.
What's up?
How have you been?
Been good, just constantly punishing myself for not putting out enough content. The healthy way of doing business.
Yeah, well, I mean, you put out a lot of content as it is. A couple newsletters a week, Better Offline.
It's been quite a year for you.
Quite a year indeed, but now it's only going to get weirder. That's the fun part. That's the fun part of this. I have so much shit planned. I need a break. I'm so tired, but I don't get to break. Not with all the posting that must be done.
No,
you always have to post.
Yeah, the posting must happen. The spice must flow, as it were.
The Shai Hulud of content. That's what Robert Evans.
They're calling him the Shai Hulud of content.
And I haven't seen those. I watched half of June 1. I've watched the original, the David Lynch one. Yeah. I watched half of it, the new one, on a Vision Pro on a flight, and it gave me a migraine. So, I mean, it was cool, but also I really don't like having a migraine.
No.
Yeah.
If you can avoid it, I'm pretty sure.
But it seems good. I don't remember about Shai Hulud or Nissan Altima or whatever that shit is. I don't know. I never... Like, Paul is a good guy, but he's not. I don't like complex things. I don't like to have to think. That's why I watch movies like Bullet Train.
Exactly.
That's a great
movie.
I watched that movie. What is it? What was the point? I don't know. It was fun.
The point was you had a bunch of cool people doing shit, and then the movie ended. I like that the entire movie was made up of Chekhov's gun.
Yes.
It's just like, I hope he doesn't need the gun he's putting away there. I loved it. The whole time I was like, woo! I know exactly what's going to happen.
I saw that at the drive-in, and that's like the perfect drive-in movie because it's just like, low stakes. You're just there to have a good time.
But even then, while watching a movie like that, I'm still like, oh no, I hope Brad Pitt's okay. Like, like he's gonna be fine.
Yeah,
or he won't. Like, it doesn't really matter. But
if you liked Bullet Train, I highly recommend The Fall Guy. I enjoyed The Fall Guy as that type of movie. As that type of movie where it's just like, oh boy, I hope this action sequence doesn't pay off later.
Oh, it's from the director of Bullet Train. Sorry, so.
Oh, well, there you go.
Sorry, I had no idea that this is part of his body's work. I watched Almost Famous the other day. There's a movie. That movie, Philip Seymour Hoffman in one of his best roles.
Oh yeah,
but also a great movie about journalism and not being friends with the rock stars.
Yeah. Some good lessons in there.
I haven't seen that since probably high school, but probably my time trying to be a music journalist, I probably could have taken a lesson or two.
I was going to say, yeah, you had a little bit of that going for you as well. Part where he just like calls up Lester Bangs. It's like, all right, I guess that is a thing you used to be able to do. Just call him up.
But you know what? The Lester Bangs character, I definitely saw myself in, other than like the speed and dying part. Because people call me all the time for like advice, and I'm always around because I am not cool. I am just, I'm here. What are you doing? I'm at home 100% of the time.
Yeah.
I like being at home. I like being alone with my cats. Very normal guy.
No, it's a normal guy thing.
Oh, yeah.
Very normal.
Yeah, they're Bengals, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Babu and what's the other one?
Pokey and being
Okay.
little fuckers right now.
Of
Because
course.
I'm taking this from upstairs, my desk by my bed for some reason. I don't know. And they're like, oh yeah, it's time to climb everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
And
that's
that
what
is
cats
what
do.
they are doing. They are fucking.
You don't need a quiet. You just need all of the distractions. What if I just jump on this thing over here, knock over some papers,
Right.
and then all of a sudden lose my shit and get stuck under the bed?
Yeah.
Or
Classic.
behind the door.
Well, no, one
Classic
of them.
cat
So I have
behavior.
an ice machine with a little tank on the side, and for the last week or so, I've been like, "Why the fuck is this leaking?" I keep thinking maybe the hose gets pulled out, and then I went and I looked at it, and the little fuckers have bit it.
Oh
It's just like, I've
no.
just been filling this shit up and then letting it spill over the desk and blaming myself for the evils of these beautiful babies that I love.
My girlfriend and I, we moved in together a couple weeks ago. I guess it's been 2 weeks now.
Yeah, that's
And her cat is obsessed with me and wants to like live in my mouth. Like his preferred way, his preferred. Yeah, no, it's true. Like he wants to be so close to you that like when we go to bed, sometimes his preferred way of like sleeping on me is to like go over one shoulder, like if I'm laying on my back, come across the middle of my body, and then sit that way, like with his midsection across my neck, like he's trying to slowly strangle me. And that's before I met this cat, when me and my girlfriend were first dating, like he Kennard wants to live in your fucking mouth. He has no sense of personal space. She got him from a rescue, and the theory has been that he had to have been, his original owner had to have been like an old lady that just sat around and watched her
Just
stories.
sucked him off.
God, yeah. Like my girlfriend just had surgery. Just had a major surgery earlier in the week. It all went super well, and her mom's in town helping us out for a week or so. She's leaving tomorrow. And her mom's like asking me, like, "Oh, has he tried doing this? Has he sat his wet butthole on you?" I'm like,
Oh,
"Yes,
no.
I have gotten grapefruited by the cat."
Oh God!
And the question you always hope is the wet buttholes because he was grooming himself and not because he just pinched one off.
God, you can only hope.
God, cats are such strange little beasts, but we love them.
My cats
Somehow.
don't do anything. Like I have a cat in my office that sits on me a lot, and his whole thing is he's not really concerned with whether I am ready for him, just that I am there.
Yeah,
So he just comes like middle of a fucking call, and not like in the cute cat, like I'm gonna walk past. He just fucking boards me. He just like, or just decides like now I'm gonna chew on your nose.
Yeah, it's
just fucking
time.
just yeets across the ground. Just yep, this is
No,
what
he
we're
does it
doing.
really slowly and deliberately, so there's no question as to whether it was a mistake.
It's even better.
Yeah, but I love him.
So one of the reasons that we brought you here today is we want to expose you to some bizarre stuff on the web. Of course, this is our normal starting segment where we go through other things that have just kind of maybe fallen through the cracks, or maybe they're bigger stories. The first one.
Oh, I just saw the Chainsaw Man thing. Explosive issue.
Yes, in more ways than one. So the New Daily is an Australian paper where we got this first article. The headline, Galvanized Square Steel, the bizarre TikTok trend, reimagining tiny spaces. I, like a lot of things, came to this late on TikTok. Apparently this has been a thing since around somewhere near the end of last year. But my son said something about Little Johnny and the galvanized square steel. I said, what the hell are you talking about? So I actually got this from my 14-year-old. He introduced me to this entire bizarre TikTok channel, and it's called Home Design 369. Damn girl, fine. To rock it to me one more time. Get low, get low. Anyway, so they had this weird animation software redesigns of small spaces. It started out with Liam, and he's worked for 10 years to save up money for this house. But then his wife accidentally has 100 kids. Just these ridiculous storylines to kind of grab your eye and get you into this. But yeah, Little John was the best one because these ones have all of the tropes that we've come to associate with this TikTok channel. Yeah, the best one here is the one I linked you, Ed. The headline is just design a 0.1 square meter apartment.
Oh, is this the one where there was the one with the billion children?
Yes, it's the same. This is how Home Design 369. Yeah, it's the same people. The billion children, the 100 children. My wife accidentally had triplets. This one is he finally saved enough money to buy a 0.1 square meter apartment in New York. And he has to tie himself to the door with steel wire so he doesn't fall off the building.
Liam worked hard for 10 years in New York and finally saved enough to buy this tiny 0.1 square meter apartment. Every night, he had to tie himself to the door with steel wire to sleep. Eventually, it broke down and needed to absolutely redesign. Firstly, he welded a frame from galvanized square steel and borrowed some expansion screws from his aunt to secure it to the wall. He covered it with wood veneers, durable for 10,000 years, and installed large floor-to-ceiling windows made of broken bridge aluminum for a stylish look.
These videos make me feel very upset.
Yes.
They really unsettle me.
It's like playing I don't know if you ever played the Sega or Super Nintendo game. I think we're all in the same age where maybe you like took the cartridge out halfway and everything started to glitch. And you're like, you feel like you're experiencing something you shouldn't. Like this is some evil, something dark, something corrupted.
Yeah, like a friend who starts talking about demonic shit. You're like, mate, I think you got to go back to therapy. Like,
it is the equivalent of having your friend's older brother who dropped out to hang out at the mall explain like ICP and the Wicked Carnival to you. Or the Dark Carnival, sorry.
Or like they got a little too into Burzum.
Yes, exactly right. So the running jokes all throughout these are firstly the galvanized square steel, the expansion screws that he borrows from his aunt. It's never explained why. Oh yeah, and the wood veneer that is durable for 10,000
I had to stop. I do not like it.
Okay.
It does cause.
It's the very repetitious language. It's like the It's too much for me.
Yeah.
Makes me upset, which means I will end up watching it later and being like,
Exactly.
So
right.
important. This is very important. I must see this. It's why, like, occasionally, like, my nephew will occasionally send me a video, and he's a teenager.
Yeah.
13. Great kid. But he'll send me a video, clearly intending to weird me out.
Right.
I'm like, what? Okay. What now? Like, knowing that I can't respond with what I have,
Right.
because I'll send him something that it will like deeply bother him that he'll be thinking about for years.
Send him like the dog breeder 30 times bait.
My standard thing is there's this video called Wacker's Gourmet Race, which is based on a character from it's Kirby's Dream Land, one of the that song.
Sure.
It's all dialogue from Wacker from Final Fantasy X, and it's just like I watch it every so often to see if I'm disassociating, and if I'm not, I am by the end of the video. I don't want to send these because I don't want him to like have to go to therapy because of a YouTube.
Yeah.
Not even necessarily because it hurt him, just like he's just confused about the nature of meaning now.
Just
I'm not even
questioning
going into the
existence.
deep pockets of like pain for or anything like that. I would never send that to another person.
No, it's not like you're sending a Mr. Hands or something. Yeah, just
no. I also do not have that on my iPhone.
That's good.
I unfortunately have Goatsy on my phone because I think I sent it
Why?
to you. I sent it to Jason. I sent it
Why?
I saved it so I could. I saved it so I could send it to someone on Twitter that was saying some really miserable shit on Palestine and with Israel. It was just like a really bad take. And it's like, well, I'm taking it back 20 years. You just get the Goatsy. And I got only 4 hours suspended, which I felt like was really light. Yeah. Because I feel like I've been suspended for a couple of days for telling someone to shut up.
I think the last time I got suspended was pig poop balls. So that's been a while. When you used to just send pig poop balls to people.
I got DMCA'd the other day.
Oh, no.
That one was actually fair. Like, I posted someone's video from Instagram and he messaged me and was like, hey, did you monetize this? I'm like, no. I wanted to say I do this for the love of the game, but
it's all in the game, baby.
It's all for the numbers.
The next link on our list is a 404 Media piece, and the headline really got me. Why do these Instagram electricians want to deep throat you?
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Wonder if they're serious.
Let's see here. This actually came from Dan McQuaid, an editor at Defector, sent this to 404 Media. Essentially, these Instagram ads.
Emmanuel fucking rocks. Sorry, there's something he wrote in here that I must I must read out.
Please do.
As someone who has had to hire all of these contractors in the last couple of years, I can tell you without hesitation that I will get much more, quote, pure pleasure from one of them just showing up on time than deep-throating me. And, like, that's magic.
Amazing.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so glad I pay these people. 404 rocks. Anyway, sorry, I was talking over you.
No, 404 does indeed rock. We feature them a lot because, boy, just some great reporting constantly. But this one just drove me off the edge because I was like, okay, now I got to find some of these. I wasn't able to find them. So these apparently are the remnants that they have here in the header. The full ad reads, need a girl for an hour or more? The first hour is free for new clients. We have the best.
So they're not fucking anyone. You're not getting an hour for free.
Oh, no. Just go to the website, click on options 1 through 3, and choose a girl. There will be roof services words there, but our girls will be after them there. All right.
Oh, okay.
The second one, our girls are working electricians, if you know what I mean. I don't know what you mean.
I actually don't. My fucking fuse box is broken.
Is she going to come over and fix it? No? Okay, well.
She's like taking her top off. I'm like, put those shit away. I'm like... My light switch isn't fucking working.
What the fuck is going on with my
Get
dryer?
your hands off of my belt.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
What are you doing? It's such an absurd... And I guess it works, someone's going to click it, but Emmanuel did go through these ads and basically said, no, there's nothing to them. They lead to broken sites. The headline alone and the article was worth a read if you have it, 404media.co.
They got some quality shit on there, but also it is so cool how the internet's just fucking falling apart. I get so angry on the show, and there are people on Reddit who are like, you yell too much. Well, fucking, why are you not yelling?
I was going to say.
It's like going to the mall, and you go into a store, and you go to a shelf, and it's just worms, endless worms everywhere, and you turn to someone and say, why is there all these worms? To say, yeah, but there's also other stuff.
You're like, yes, but there shouldn't be worms at the mall. Yeah, the
worms should not be coming out of the Best Buy thing. This is where I buy the $50 HDMI cable.
Exactly.
Like, that's over here, sir. The worms, you leave the worms to it. And someone walks over and the worms just consume them. And they're like, that's fine, it happens. It drives me insane because I'm on the show and I read these scripts and I don't... Another rude accusation. They're like, oh, you put it on, like the anger. No, I read these scripts. I don't write them angry. But when I read them, I'm like, this is insane.
Right.
Yeah. What is going on? And I feel crazy. I feel crazy sometimes. You read Bloomberg, Wall Street Journal. Well, actually, I give Wall Street Journal credit. They've been pretty good on Facebook. But you read about these companies and like, oh, they've made $1 billion. And it's like, yeah, but their product is so shit. And not even shit, not just like bad at the thing, but just nakedly full of actual terrors.
The next link on our list is probably not going to make you any happier. A concerted effort between Ian Miles Chong and the Libs of TikTok lady trying to get trying to get a boycott going for the latest Call of Duty.
I guess this is for
These
Warzone.
fucking people. Ian Miles Chong needs to get fucked or something. Like, you think if Ian Miles Chong's shit got rocked even once, he would do this?
I doubt it.
One day he's just going to get online and be like, hey, everyone, sorry about the last few years. I had sex and turns out I just needed to come once.
Yeah. So yeah, Modern Warfare 3, there's some Pride Month cameos, and one of which is a trans pride flag that you can add to your gun. According to Kotaku, a possible Call of Duty bug is causing a new pride-themed cosmetic to paint the bullets in one version of one of the game's guns the color of the transgender flag. That is the end total of what is actually happening. But over here on Twitter, Ian Miles Chong writing, Activision's Call of Duty just added transgender bullets to the game in honor of Pride Month, so you can literally role-play a transgender mass shooter. Which was then quoted by Libs of TikTok saying, Call of Duty is now enabling kids to roleplay being a literal trans terrorist. With an uptick in actual trans violence that we've been seeing, it's alarming that Call of Duty would introduce this. Concern trolling par excellence, by the way.
Yeah, on fucking 10x
fucking here. Hilarious, though, because it's like, yeah, but if it wasn't a trans person doing it, it's okay?
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah. I don't
yeah,
know.
we don't want trans people taking away the valuable straights Mass shooting market? Like what?
And for me too, like I'm thinking,
No, what
like,
they're actually afraid of, if they were actually afraid of anything, which they're not. This is just completely like this is just them finding something to be mad at. But if they were actually scared, they'd be scared of the fact that a trans person would see this and be like, "Now there's a fucking idea."
Yeah. Well, and I think I think that's libs of TikTok's real fear is that like, actually this.
Oh, it turns out that forcing people into a corner makes them react sometimes, and sometimes, oh no. Yeah. I'm not saying I want that to happen.
And I think like the shithead in me, if I could go spend dollars to have guns with trans bullets that would make other people upset, I would do that.
Yeah.
You know, on mic, I'm shooting you with the trans bullets. And there's some kid in Oklahoma
Who
screaming.
fucking cares? You get shot in 2 seconds in Call of Duty.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's why I don't play it.
The TTK is pretty quick. Yeah, I feel like the people that play Call of Duty, like Warzone, aren't like movers and shakers in the world. They're not really like doing much.
You know, there's some streamers and such that are influential or whatever, but even then, it's niches within niches. This is like
because they keep every time it gets good again, they break it, which is I guess.
Well, yeah.
Every time I play it, I feel old. I'm not quick enough.
No, me neither.
I just turn a corner. I just
Yeah,
I'm just dead. I'm like, this isn't fun. And everyone's like, oh, you just need to put a few hours into it. I'm like, no.
I've already wasted enough of my life on shit like Destiny 2. I'm not going back to that well again.
Oh my God. So I read I don't know if you've played the Final Shape yet, because I'm not going to.
Yeah.
I went and I read the plot later. It doesn't fucking end. It doesn't end. There's no ending.
Of course it doesn't.
The ending is you being like, oh, the fight against the witness continues. Like, fuck you. Fuck these fucking people. There's a cutscene and then like a moving comic book. Bungie, they are such fucking arsehole. I'm sorry. I'm sure they're good people there, but this game, such contempt for users.
Yeah.
Just just like the Matt Christman tweet where it's like, you like the Bing Bong Theory, you pieces of shit. They shove out a story that barely makes sense. And then the moment it gets cool, they're like, and that's enough for now.
They were talking all this stuff about like, because Lance Reddick, who played Zavala, died, and they brought in Keith David to do the voice. And
love me some Keith David.
Oh, as do I. But there was some article I was reading. It was Polygon that was writing it. Like, yeah, this is a fitting send-off for Zavala. I'm like, well, the story doesn't fucking end. So what are you talking about?
I can tell you what happened if you want.
Sure. I mean, I'm not playing the damn things.
He gets made mortal because his ghost dies. Something that doesn't make any fucking sense, by the way.
I think it's only ever happened to
How
Cade
does a
6.
dog not eat someone's ghost at some point? Like, come on.
Yeah.
It's just this fucking game. Just give me big monster fight, shoot big monster, bang, bang.
Yeah.
Not this shit about the Final Shape and the veil and all this nonsense.
Yeah, I mean, they've written more sci-fi gobbledygook for this game than they ever bothered to for fucking Halo.
Yeah, and
But also, if you look at like the Taken King, the last good expansion in the Destiny series,
Was that for Destiny 1?
it was Destiny 1.
Yeah.
And it was brilliant because all it was like this big hive god has come out and he has a big ship and all these crazy enemies. Oh, and here's another thing about the Final Shape. You want to know what the new environments are?
Sure.
The tower. It's the tower and Earth. But they're like, oh yeah, it's recreated from the dreams of people who have been in the Traveler. It's just such naked contempt.
Dog shit.
For everyone who plays this game. Just like Last Jedi level writing,
Yeah.
but worse because it costs so much more money to play and takes so many hours. And you get to the end, it sucks. It just pisses me off because it's like they reinvent the wheel every time, but they make it less circular.
it's just hobbly.
The Cybertruck game writing. Yeah.
Oh fuck yeah! I still haven't seen one of those things.
No, I haven't in real life.
I've seen two. I saw one on the highway not braking properly, and I saw the other one. I saw the other one unable to properly merge into one of the easiest streets in the town that I now live in. And it was just like, dude, this is so easy, man. You just gotta go for it. Like, it's a weird turn, but here's the thing: you just have to go straight. You don't have to you see both. You can go, bro. They couldn't figure it out, and they were the entire time I was looking at my rearview mirror. They still couldn't figure it out. I'm like, good job on your $80,000 truck that looks like it could blow over in the wind.
Jesus wept. That's like,
I love that thing. I'm so excited to see it.
Oh, dude, it looks like shit.
I was gonna rent one for Better Offline, and then I realized All this is going to be is half an hour of me being like, this is fucking stupid. Why is this here? Which isn't actually enjoyable podcasting.
It's not
It's
good
just
audio, yeah.
or it'd probably like explode and kill me in it, which would be the worst way to die other than being hit by one.
Do you own a Tesla? I forget.
I used to own a Tesla Model X, and I had a Tesla Model X before that and Model S. I used to like those cars. And then, yeah, obviously, like Elon Musk sucks.
Sure.
And the only reason I kept one past 2020 was it was 2020. I was like, I'm moving to Vegas. I need a vehicle now, and it's the Tesla.
Yeah.
Sure.
But I now have a beautiful, simple Volvo XC40. It goes forward, backwards, side to side, wheel.
The whole bit, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a normal fucking car. Nothing weird.
I've only ever been in a Model 3, and what kind of got me about the Teslas is it feels like there's a lot of bells and whistles that are like, oh, this is really interesting. This is really neat. You know, you're like, oh, this is new. This is exciting. And then the shine wears off. And you're like, this is just kind of an all right car. There's really nothing.
Also, there's no act. You can't see how fast you're going unless you look to the center, which is very cool.
That's bad.
It's really good. I like that. I think it's good that you have to take your eyes off the road to see how fast you're going on the road.
Yeah.
That's good.
While you're playing Team Fortress 2?
Well, instead of selecting drive and reverse, it's based and epic, and you need to remember which one of those it is at any given time. Yeah, it's really good. You can't even on the modern ones, there's no stalk to engage drive or reverse. You have to use the screen as well.
Hey, yeah.
That sounds fucking
good.
That sounds fucking good. Frustrating.
It's as based as it is epic.
The epic bacon car. Ken has cheeseburger.
I've definitely thought about doing an entire episode in Elon Musk for like, hello and welcome to Better Offline. I'm calling you from outside of the Balstrop Family Court Center. My 14th child, google.com/x has sadly been, they have a problem where I've not been interfacing correctly with the child, and he just hasn't fed the kid. That's why he's like, it's just something like that I think about. Then I realize if I do this, tens of thousands of people will be mad at me for another reason.
It's like, well, yeah.
I share these ideas only with the good people who get it.
Well, speaking of people who get it, beautiful segue. I'm keeping it.
Nice.
Ed, you're a fan of Chainsaw Man.
I am.
Have you caught up on the latest chapter?
I have. It was a blast. This latest fucking arc.
Yeah.
It was just like, well, it's been 5 issues. They're like, he's horny. And he's like, first of all, they go for sushi and the sushi place has been knocked down.
Yeah.
And they're like, let's take him to a whorehouse. The whorehouse has been burned down.
Yeah.
And he keeps talking about being horny. And so she's like, I'll cut his dick off. What the?
So for those of you not in the know, Chainsaw Man is a great little online manga. Go find it online. You can read it for free in English. It's great. And we're up to, 167 now. So you've got some interesting arcs to go through. But yes, in this chapter, if you can call it that, having threatened to cut his dick off, this character then instead jacks him off. She's under control.
It's obvious if she's jacking him off.
It's implied.
I thought she just shoved her hand in his pants awkwardly. I read it as quite awkward. I'll admit I didn't do a deep read on this because I'm just like, okay.
Yeah. It's several pages of just them making out while she's got her hand in his pants.
But like in a very messy way.
Yeah.
Like a very childish way. Like it's very interesting, but so strange.
And it pulls her hand away, and then you see a perfect recreation of that shot from End of Evangelion with her hand covered in cum. The only way I can. The only way I can. It's a very direct reference, and I was like, okay, that was awkward for everyone, especially me, having looked at the last 2 pages of making out, and then this. What the fuck? And we were not alone in that reaction. The online people have been, let's just say, interesting about it. The voice actor who originally played Shinji in Evangelion posted to Twitter, I saw this trending. Denji Ikari, because Denji is the main character in Chainsaw Man. Saw Denji Ikari trending, didn't understand why, and then he saw it and posted like making this face. Like
I didn't watch End of Evangelion. I watched Evangelion when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I'll admit something. I had no idea there was subtext.
Yeah.
I thought it was just a thing about robots. It just got a bit weird. So the whole time I watched it, I'm like, this is strange. But when the robots are back, way great.
Yeah.
Just absolutely no awareness that it was about depression. I'm like, oh, lady kissed him. That's strange.
Yeah.
Woo, robots. What's that big fucking head on the... Oh, this is weird. Aliens, I guess. Like, God? I don't know. Oh, well. Time to go back to girls not liking me in the real world. And then I read years later, oh, it's about depression. I'm like, haha. Yeah, I'm never watching this again. Fuck that.
Yeah.
You get depression for free at home. Like,
I don't need to go to the movies to get it. Yeah.
yes.
I still don't. And Jason's a big fan of Evangelion. I still don't 100% know what's going on either, and I feel like I've watched the series in its various iterations at least twice over. And there's things about I really like. There's animation. There's themes that I find really interesting. But on the whole, sometimes I feel like it's Metal Gear Solid, where I feel like I'm missing something here, and I'm not sure if I'm supposed to get it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like any art. It's subjective, and it's one of those things where like your level of depression as a teenager will definitely flavor your takeaway.
But I was super depressed.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, like I said,
I watched it. I'm like, robots. Yeah, fuck yeah. Woo. It's such a stupid piece of shit. God damn.
They're great robots. Everybody loves them.
Everyone loves robots. Yeah, I mean, fuck, man. I loved Robocross when I was like on Toonami, all that shit. Yeah.
Robocross. Yeah.
Fucking big robots.
Oh, yeah. So the reaction online, obviously, people got a little weirded out. Here's someone at Glitch Shay. Dear Denji, I'm sorry that man is your author in the Kendrick Lamar voice. Here's at Detective Airy. People think I'm defending the Chainsaw Man scene when I'm pointing out how people have this weird puritanical view of art that borders on anti-intellectualism, which results in an instant "ew, what the fuck" reaction every time something sexual happens, regardless of whether it's good or bad. So I mean, there's some people celebrating, we're Barack. People saying that it's going to filter the casuals from the audience, which is so stupid. Why are you
just a fucking
gatekeeping?
stupid, weird thing they're doing. The person writing Chainsaw Man is a fucking strange person.
Yes.
He makes strange stuff. It kind of reminds me of like, obviously a little bit more gratuitous, but reminds me of like the Eastman and Laird Turtles. It's a bit fucking gritty and weird and horrifying. It's great. This current arc fucking sucks. It's boring. It sucks so bad. I'm not going to over-intellectualize it.
No.
It's just dull as fuck. I'm done with it. It was cute for a while. Get me back. He hasn't even been Chainsaw Man in a while.
Right.
The moment he became Chainsaw Man. By any chance are you reading Jujutsu Kaisen, though?
I have not. No, I've been told it's good.
Okay, so this fucking comic, man.
Uh-oh.
All right. So this comic, there are multiple issues where something happens and they have like 3 different box outs. They're like, well, actually, he opened his domain, but the reason the domain didn't open was the other guy opened his domain. And then there are multiple issues I have not been able to understand. I'm not a stupid guy, jokes aside, but this shit requires a visit to a special wiki. And then you go on Reddit and people are like, can someone explain like how this guy's ability works? And then there's like 2 paragraphs.
Jesus.
And it's like, get me back to the punching. Right now, we are in a battle that's been going on for several months, and there will be multiple issues where it's just like, well, he opened his domain, but then this guy opened his domain, and that stopped that domain from doing this thing to that domain, but then this guy did this, and that's why this... And it's just... I came here for the punching and the kicking.
Yeah, I didn't want to do homework. I'm avoiding homework.
That's why Demon Slayer, perfect. Demon Slayer, perfect manga.
Sure.
Absolutely perfect. There's a bit of ability bullshit, but it's always like, his ability does this, and now watch him use it.
Mm-hmm.
And then he uses the ability, and you're like, woo, yeah. It's great. It's also over. Like, you can read all of Demon Slayer on the Shonen Jump app.
That certainly
it's
helps.
Perfect, and the characters are cool. There are cool moments. There's like very cool artistic moments, very satisfying, kind of like Naruto was, but better. But Chainsaw Man has become agonizing after it had, I would say, the first bit until the time jump with Chainsaw Man was one of the strongest runs in a comic book ever.
All right.
The bit up to after the Makima bit was incredible. Like, beautiful artwork, great design, just like fucking interesting people doing interesting things, like really like weird ideas that they had a lot of fun with. Now it's almost laughing at the audience for sticking around. Like, oh, well, you want the big payoff at the end of this? Yeah, he just came. Denji just fucking busted.
Yeah.
Brainsaw Man. Like it's fucking just like, whatever. What is the point of this? Up until this point, I've been a big fan of the fact that that basically Denji is Beavis from Beavis and Butthead. But now he's come, I actually don't like it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just weird. And it's not telling a story. It's just being it's now too much.
Right.
And I hope that they just pull back from this nonsense.
Amen to that. So the last story that we are bringing you, I'm sure you've seen this, considering it took place in the Las Vegas Sphere. This article from Rolling Stone, courtesy of former guest Miles Klee. A Fish fan has been banned from the Sphere by taking a bong rip at the 420 Fish concert. So
okay. Okay. All right. Okay. What? Why? How did they ban just one guy for that?
I think just being kind of obnoxious about it.
Okay, so he was a dick about it.
I'm not even sure.
I mean, other than going to Fish.
I mean, as far as stuff that I've seen or have heard people doing at Fish concerts, like this looks pretty tame. Like it's just a middle-aged guy with a backwards baseball cap, wearing a graphic tee, ripping the bong at a Fish concert. It's one of those things where, like, yeah, I could see why they're banning him, but also the things I've seen people do at shows, this feels again pretty tame.
Yeah, and what's funny is, according to the Klee article, it says, despite the Sphere's strictly enforced prohibition of smoking, including electronic cigarettes, anywhere on the premises, at Acid Farts, yes, he did not want to give his real name, so he gave him his username on Instagram. At Acid Farts did not face immediate consequences of his actions. In fact, as he made plans to see the Grateful Dead, or Dead and Company, play the Sphere on June 6th to celebrate a friend's 40th birthday, the pair agreed that he seemed to be in the clear. However, Acid Farts believes it was his purchase of the Dead and Company ticket this past weekend that triggered a June 3rd legal notice that was delivered by FedEx to his home. And the legal notice says, in light of your conduct, you are hereby indefinitely banned from Madison Square Garden, Radio City Music Hall, the Beacon Theater, the Chicago Theater, Sphere, and any other MSG venue.
Damn.
They didn't just ban him from the Sphere, they banned him from Madison Square Garden completely.
That's crazy.
That sucks, man. Especially with a band that you can see 700 times a year.
Yeah, like I'm photographing Fish in a couple of months. Like it's whatever.
I have heard of people taking off like months of work to see every single Fish concert since I moved to America in 2008. Someone who told me that they were doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, you've got to listen to them. And they played me what could be one song, could be 8 songs. I have no idea.
Yeah, Fish had that unfortunate jam band tendency to just do the same shit over and over again.
And sometimes it's kind of cool, but sometimes it really fucking isn't. There's a lot of bands like that right now. I got offered the photograph Goose, and I'm like, I can't do 2 jam bands in one summer.
Oh yeah,
like I can't. My body won't allow it. Apparently, my aunt had one point in time followed the Grateful Dead around in the early '80s. I've never asked her about it, but my dad has made some really sharp jokes about the subject matter. I can't imagine. Fuck, wasn't there something about a guy at a Fish show getting really fucked up on something and gouging his own eyes out?
Oh God, I don't know about that one. I just remember Drew Carey.
Oh yeah,
going insane posting.
Oh yeah, the weird horny posting that Drew Carey did.
Drew Carey had his Kevin Smith pwned my taint area tweet.
This is what coming with a pussy feels like.
I thought that you were going to say that there was someone at a Fish concert who was sober, and that was the news.
Oh,
everyone's.
I'll probably. I'll be outside the Metrolink watching 2 groups of smelly people fighting each over who has the rights to sell nitrous balloons outside of the Chaffetz Arena.
Oh, by the way, the Acid Fart gentleman, I can't believe it. He just wouldn't reveal his name, I guess. I'm really wearing it as a badge of honor, he explains, and he already has an idea on how to make the most of the incident. Sell a t-shirt, maybe reading free at Acid Farts. In any case, he notes his story is in the pantheon of Fish now. And for those wondering what strain Acid Farts was packing at the Sphere, a question I would not have asked, I guess that's because my journalistic bona fides are a little rusty, he reveals that he is a sour diesel man for life,
I respect that.
Yeah, what he won't share is exactly how he smuggled that sizable bong into the arena in the first place. Quote, "That's a no comment," he says with a laugh.
Yeah, genuinely, actually, how he got it in there, because the Sphere has giant metal detectors. Did he shove a fucking bong up his ass?
That's what's implied?
What a fucking loser. Take edibles, you stupid twat.
That's what I'm saying.
Fucking hell.
I feel like edibles and fucking carts have kind of made flour irrelevant for certain circumstances.
It's way more socially acceptable to, well, and also it doesn't look like such a huge dork move if you're like putting a gummy in your mouth as opposed to like smuggling a bong into a fish show and then getting fucking banned for life from Madison Square Garden.
Because
and
you
all
boasted about smoking weed at a fish show.
Yeah.
Wow. I played golf at a golf course. Jesus Christ, man.
I know.
It's just already not great that you're at one.
Well, yeah, that's sign number one, and then damn.
Yeah, and you're already like not in a great place as far as acts. And now, just then you walking around with it up your ass?
Yeah, I still am.
The guy walking in like a cowboy.
But Walton Goggins walked in.
So Ed, have you been to the Sphere?
I have.
Is it cool or is it like just all right?
So the problem is it's way too expensive.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
It's way, way, way too expensive. But when you get past that, if you get anything other than the kind of mid-tier or best tier seats, you are going to experience such a powerful fear of heights because the seats are so tall and up. The whole time I was like, I'm going to fall over and die. I'm going to die in the Sphere. I'm going to die in the Sphere, and everyone's going to watch me die as I fall down like the fucking pram from Battleship Potemkin. I'm going to bounce down it like a fucking Donkey Kong throwing a barrel at Mario. I'm going to die in an embarrassing way.
Yeah.
But even then, when you get past that fear, so the movie that they show is Postcards from Earth, and it's a video thing where you go through Earth, and it's very cool, except it begins and ends with this very weird sci-fi thing. And it's these human beings being woken up from stasis and shown the world again. That's the plot. The world has been destroyed by global warming, of course. Now, two problems. Number one, the Sphere is this giant, beautiful screen, of which this sci-fi bit uses like a tiny 16 by 9 video. So you've got this kind of shitty sci-fi thing happening on this window into the big screen you actually want to see. And it takes forever. It takes so fucking long. They're like, wake up. You've been asleep for a long time. I don't care. Show me the elephants.
Yeah.
And when you get to the actual elephant stuff, it's very cool. It looks insane. It's so good looking. Other than the times when they didn't actually take the video for the Sphere, and you can see just this weird, like, blooming curl thing happening at the top. It looks kind of weird, but there are genuinely it's the first bit of tech I've seen in a while, which is like, wow, this is the future. You can hear guys shout to each other. There's this bit where these guys are mining something from sulfur, and you hear a guy shout from the back to the guy at the front. You can hear the depth, and that's so fucking cool. And then you get back to the sci-fi thing at the end, and it's like, oh, and then global warming bad. I'm like, I know, there's nothing I can do about it. It's caused by corporations. On top of that, before you get to go in, you just mill around this giant fucking space full of expensive food and these robots and these robots that you can talk to, and they talk back and they claim it's AI. I've heard rumors that it's not AI, it's a bloke with a microphone.
Yeah.
But I've found no proof. If I ever find it, I'm going to blow the fucking top off it, and then I will be banned from Madison Square Garden. But the other thing is they tell you to get there an hour before the actual show happens, which is great when you have a fucking 5-year-old with you.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Thanks, the Sphere. I am seeing the NHL draft, though.
Okay.
I don't know anything about hockey, but so the whole time I'm going to be like screaming like, let's go Yankees.
There you go.
No, I'm not going to do that. I'll go in there with perhaps some edibles in me.
See, that would be the thing to do. Would be just go see the Earth performance and take them when you get there, and then your hour-long wait will be really
seen it
weird.
already.
Well, I'm
I've
saying
seen it already.
for anyone listening to the show, planning
For
a
a
trip
new
to Las
person.
Vegas. Yeah. All right. Well, it is Crypto Scam of the Week time, Ed.
You're listening to 48 Minutes of Dogs Barking, the podcast.
And now it's time for the Crypto Scam of the Week.
One of our favorite parts of the show. We love to do it because it is very, very silly. We had to call an audible because something came to our attention. Matt Binder's Twitter account, one of his latest posts.
It's been the time. Let's take a look.
Is it Binder or Binder? I always say Binder because...
I say Binder. But then again, I used to say Binder's full of women. So.
There you go. God, Mitt Romney.
The Hulk Hogan crypto. About 3 or 4 hours ago, I was checking Twitter and I saw this, and I checked a crypto Telegram group that I lurk in for content for this segment from time to time, and watching people just being like, this can't be fucking real. And like, people are already fucking weird about this shit because of like the Caitlyn Jenner coin from a couple weeks ago. So this one actually turned out to be a different type of scam than the Caitlyn Jenner coin. And this seemed to be like an outright scam where someone hacked Hulk Hogan's website and his Twitter account and launched a fake token. So they were tweeting things like, website HulkHogan.com is hashtag updated with the hashtag Hulk info. I'm all jacked up for tonight, HH.
Because HH is how he signs his posts. So.
Yeah, and they used a video to promote the token that apparently was lifted for when he was promoting a karaoke night at some bar a couple months ago, back in like late December, I want to say. And so this thing, apparently, according to this group I was lurking, the guy accidentally posted his wallet address instead of the contract address at first. So people are watching that. This guy apparently walked away with about $200K.
So good.
I saw a tweet from someone that said that they had lost like over $130,000 on Hulk coin.
Okay, man. I mean, at this point, that's on you.
Yeah.
I can't, man. Fuck it. If you were getting scammed for Hulk Hogan coin, that's one thing. Whatever.
Right.
If you're putting 130 large in there, I think you just like...
Yeah.
You don't get to play with your money anymore.
You're financially stupid in a way that cannot be helped by science.
Yeah, you will probably die by getting hit by a parked car at some point. So just might as well spread the wealth otherwise.
Yeah.
The first person to get lead poisoning from a non-lead pencil. Like, just...
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. It's the tweets, though, man. It as bad as they are kind of his posting style. So I'm 70 years old and don't know much about these hashtag cryptocurrencies.
I swear to God, I would 100% believe he was in on it.
Oh, yeah.
But I know how to school these punks with the pump and show them who the real champion is, $Hulk. And then my favorite is that Iggy Azalea had posted all these crybabies want to suck on my tits, Elmao, $mother, because that's her celebrity token is mother.
Is that Iggy Azalea? Is this or the other one?
It is Iggy Azalea, yeah.
All right, well, I'm listening.
Yeah. Hulk Hogan quotes, "You suck at pumping, $Hulk has the real milk."
Okay.
Fuck? All right, man. I guess.
Thank you, Mr. Hogan.
But the Hulkster did take to Instagram to clarify, "Hello, family. Appreciate your love and support always. Please do not take notice of any posts posted today. They are not from me and will be promptly removed. Thank you, Hulk." He didn't sign it HH, which makes me wonder if that's real.
Yeah, and he apparently deleted a bunch of tweets. I think he took his tweets down for a second, and I was really bummed that we are going to lose poop in my gym, brother.
Oh,
yeah, that's gone now.
Oh,
I just thought he deleted a bunch of... I think Hulk Hogan's a piece of shit.
Oh, yeah.
I would not be surprised if this was an actual scam.
Yeah.
But what's really funny now with crypto is that all of these scams go very poorly because you can't nothing is anonymous in crypto anymore.
No.
There are people who do blockchain forensics who will be like, yeah, it's this guy.
Yeah.
He is currently in a Panera Bread just outside of Lebanon, Pennsylvania. Like, he is...
Yeah. It's I think what's making this bull cycle that they say we're in interesting compared to a couple years ago is that there's no artifice now to these scams. There's very low...
Yeah, they're not even like pretending like, oh yeah, everyone's into crypto. They're just like, nah, it's worth 71 grand now. Fuck you.
It's
Yeah,
just naked.
Yeah, Bitcoin's 70,000. We're pumping this.
Yeah, I remember when Binance's smart chain, or BSC, was like the fucking Saul of the previous bull market, or whatever you want to say. I would see these things. They're obviously going to be rug pulls. They're going to be scams, but like someone like put a website together and wrote a white paper, like, wow, mathematically there's some interesting tokenomics here. Like, okay, I wonder how this will go. And then like it rugs in like 30 minutes.
Yeah, the timeline's getting a lot shorter.
My mate was writing a paper for law school, and he texted me. He was like, do you know any rug pulls that happened recently? And I was like, I'm watching one.
Which one was this?
And I was
you were
watching
watching
this thing called Ape Chain on Polygon.
Yeah.
And this was not the same one as the big one. This is before it. And I just watched it. I watched the website pop up, and within 2 hours, it was like, yeah, it's been rugged.
Yeah.
$4 million. Jesus. It's fucking insane.
Yeah.
There's so much. Like, it is insane how much happened and just nothing.
Now it's just like, I launched it. I paid someone on Twitter to tweet about it that has like a bunch of followers, and I'm going to sell half of my coins on the first pump and then the other half on the second pump and fucking then pull liquidity.
Yeah.
It's
very, very fast. There's a site I love to go to, pump.fun, just because you can watch them all crater in real time. It's
Pump.fun, huh?
Yeah.
Take a look.
So these are all Solana meme coins.
Each coin on Pump is a fair launch with no pre-sale.
Mm-hmm. And the ticker goes so fast.
How do you possibly keep up with this?
I don't think you're supposed to.
No, I mean, it's so fast. I can't even.
And Pump.fun, I think, kind of takes out a lot of the guesswork as far as like writing out your contract and any like GitHub stuff that might be involved with it. So this is really just like plug and play scam. Like there's not a lot of technical skill involved. It's just fucking go.
But you can buy them and then immediately sell them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is insane.
Yeah, they got Stepmom, Lisa Ann, Kentucky Fried Dog, Book of Porn Star.
It's like this Apple CEO switched to Uncle.
Johnny Sins.
This is a straight up casino, but not even like, this is the kind of shit that they made illegal in Vegas in like 1970.
Yeah, a Tiananmen Square Peppy Tank Man 69. What the
Jesus Christ. Chinese pencil Brett. I don't even understand half these references.
I need to close this before I put $100 in.
Right. Yeah, Jesus.
It's wild. There's
like a dozen of them with GameStop in the name, because of course.
Again, what makes this so much different than what we were talking about, like with Metaverse and NFTs, 2 or 3 years ago, is that there is no pretension that this is something real.
No,
we're all just throwing money into the fucking casino and hoping we're not the ones that get our hands slapped by the ruler.
It's like Ed said, it's the flashing lights and the money going up, and
it's fucking bizarre.
No, seriously, they should add casino noises to this. They make so much more. It's just like,
oh yeah.
I don't know why. Genuinely, this is one of the more Spectrum adjacent things I do. Occasionally, I will listen to casino noises on YouTube. It is quite relaxing.
Huh. See, that just gives me anxiety. I think it has the opposite reaction for me. So I'm just like, oh, I'm losing money somehow.
Well, I think what it is casinos I consider such an anonymous place.
Oh, okay.
Like a place where there is no judgment because it's fucking Vegas.
Yeah.
No one cares.
My brother used to say that Vegas is really awesome because it's like everything America is all about, but we don't want to admit. Like it's just...
Yes. It's also... No one is weird because everyone is weird. And it's not weird in like the LA kooky trying to be weird. It's the people here are fucking strange. It's also like a deeply working class city. And I don't think people really realize how working class. Like most of the people here work in some kind of service.
Yeah.
And if you don't like service, like if you have any kind of predilection against service people, you will die out here.
They're never going to find you. Yeah.
No, because the people who bury people, they're all union.
Yeah. I've only been to Vegas once. It was in 2017, and I enjoyed myself quite a bit because I found it just to be so weird and overstimulating. And we stayed at the MGM, and MGM had at that time, I think they still do have some of this, is like just a bunch of old gambling games in one corner by the arena or wherever they have their little venue.
Mm-hmm.
And so we would just sit there after we were done, like going like the Death Valley or something, what we're doing today for the day. We would just go back and we would just punch in quarters in the Sigma Derby, which was this Japanese made like horse racing game where you would bet on these 4 little tin horses on these 4 tracks, and they would start and go and all these different fits. And like I got up like $40 one time, and I was like, you know what? I'm good.
Yeah.
I got like a couple free beers out of it, and I felt pretty good. And then there was a Tiesto concert that was supposed to be happening at the arena. And so we got to watch all of these like Vegas kids dress up like it was prom. It was really weird. No, very few people looked like they were over 18. And we went to go across the street to New York to I think like Shake Shack or something. And there was like just people passed out in like the airlock.
Oh,
and
God.
Their friends had just like put them on their side. Like, how can you, what's going on?
It's like a cloakroom.
Yeah.
Just left them there. Jesus.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Yeah.
we gotta go see some Boom Tisk. You'll be okay, Kaylin.
Well, Tiesto plays all the time.
Yeah.
Diplo too. That's just always Tiesto Vegas. Let's see. Is he playing? Yep, upcoming. He's playing. He's playing in literally a week.
Oh, wow.
No, sorry. He's playing in 2 days.
2 days. Amazing.
Oh, man.
He's playing a lot. Like he's going to random places like Boom in Belgium. What?
All right.
This place just called Boom there?
Yeah, I guess
Might
so.
be a festival or something. But yeah.
Well, man, there is a town called Boom.
I guess.
No, there's a town called Boom. Boom, Belgium.
Yeah.
Yes, that's where the most serious EDM drops are played in Belgium.
Oh, why does Tiesto
Man,
sound
it's
like
pronounced bomb. Bullshit. Fucking Belgians.
taking the bold anti-Belgian stance on the show?
I have Belgian in-laws, and my mom always comments about how when they come and visit, oh, they're such nice people, and I'm like, yes. You know what they did to the Congo? I would be nice to everyone too. Like,
yeah, but look at what the Germans did to them. You just get into a really weird discussion.
And then you end up like Basil Fawlty, like, don't mention the war, you know? You just,
So, by the way, just a little, it's going to somewhat date this episode. So, there apparently during the NBA Finals, there was a commercial during the halftime for Perplexity AI, and I am calling the top of the AI boom. You remember the last time there were commercials during a playoff thing for an industry?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You remember how well that went for crypto?
Oh, fortune favors the bold.
The DOJ is now looking into NVIDIA. The FTC is looking into OpenAI. The DOJ is also looking into Microsoft.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I think we're seeing. I think probably by the end of the year, I think the House of Cards is going to fucking crumble.
And if I don't get the fucking credit, the tantrum I'm going to throw is just...
Well, you were one of the first people that pointed out the potential liquidity issues with FTX, right?
Well, no, my thing was actually far more vibes-based. What I said was, isn't it weird that Sam Bankman-Fried put his money in the Bahamas to begin with, but isn't it weirder that he reduced his shares in a public company so that he wouldn't have to do financial disclosures?
Oh.
And then I said, I don't believe Sam Bankman-Fried has any real money. I think it's all tied up in dodgy loans. Did I get any credit? Did I bollocks?
Nope.
Once again, I got like 3 people said I was right. And you know what? That's not enough. I know that this is going to be what jokifies me, though. There's going to be people like Casey Newton who are like, oh, yeah, I said that AI wasn't going to be good. It's like,
and you're
Casey,
like, bullshit. Yeah.
I will live in your skin.
I'm inside your walls, Casey. I am.
Yeah. There is a degree of that, though. Like when I know why I don't. I mean, the reason I don't get people like Sam Altman or Sundar Pichai or anyone to do interviews is like 90% because they don't know who I am, but 10% because when they look it up, it's like, I'm like, yeah, these fucking scumbags. And I'm like, yeah, I'm probably not going to talk to that guy.
Yeah.
It's probably not the guy. And they should, though. They should.
Oh, yeah.
I won't call them scumbags to their face.
I think it would be very entertaining at the very least.
I will sit there, and if I get any of these people, I'm going to make it a whole fucking show.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to get a fucking studio together. I'm going to be like, I'm going to have lights, might have an audience. Like they're gonna regret it the moment they get there. Like the moment they sit down, they're going to be like, I should leave. At that point, I will lock the doors.
No, you're stuck in here with me.
And just to be clear, even if I haven't, I will be saying we've now locked the doors.
Yes.
Sam Altman turning towards the camera, be like, "No, what?"
These vacuous, dead-brained people, and I'm going out on a limb here, but it's not so much that they're not smart; it's just that they're salesmen. These people aren't like serious people; they're flim-flam man, I guess.
Snake oil salesman.
The snake oil salesman.
Yeah, they're all management consultants.
Right. They're venture capital guys.
They're all the kind. Well, it's when you weaponize an industry to focus on shareholder value. And I realize that's kind of a trite point, but when you are building companies to grow rather than make stuff that's good, you lose the plot.
Right.
And also the people they're romanticizing, the Sam Altmans of the world, they're all fucking arseholes. Like they're not actual technologists. They're not building anything. They don't care about building anything. They don't know what they're building. They know enough so that they can kind of hand wave and raise money, but they sell dreams, and they're not even good ones.
Yeah, because what's the dream that they're selling? They're selling that like you're going to be able to write an email better.
That's the thing. Like, that's what I don't understand.
Yeah, what the product is.
Are you just fucking stupid? Do you not know how to write an email?
Because it ain't hard.
I write emails all fucking day.
Right.
I went to a school people can't actually spell in Wales. Aberystwyth. Well, I didn't go to fucking Harvard or Yale or any of that shite. I don't know. I don't consider myself a super educated man, but I can write a fucking email. And these people are like, oh, it allowed me to write an email. It's like, you're a fucking idiot. That's what your problem. AI isn't what you need. You need to not be a fucking idiot. Or get feedback from someone who can write emails. Well, I can use ChatGPT. Go fuck yourself. Like, I'm serious. If you are like, oh, I need ChatGPT to write an email, fuck off. If you're like, you know what? If your thing is you say, I do it to write a lot of boilerplate bullshit. If I'm writing like a list of ideas and it's all generic ideas, I can see why. I can see why you might do that. But if it's like, yeah, it helps me write better emails, then your emails are shit and you're a moron. Satya Nadella, CEO of Microsoft, he was pushed recently to talk about what he uses Microsoft Copilot for. And he was like saying all this dreamy shit. And then eventually he just goes, yeah, I use it to write better emails. You're a CEO of a multi-trillion-dollar company. You can't write an email. Fucking hell. Give me your job. Let me run the company. I clearly know more about shit than you do if you can't write a fucking email without the computer machine writing parts of it for you.
Well, yeah, because
it means that you lack the empathy to communicate with others or the clarity of voice to actually explain yourself, or you don't have any ideas.
It's probably all three, honestly. But
an Arnold Palmer of piss and shit.
I've tried using ChatGPT for...
I have too.
And the output is just terrible. It's this large language model. Well, you trained it on a bunch of bullshit then, because the product is shit. I'm sorry. There's no use case for me in my day-to-day for it, and for like 90% of people. Oh, summarize this. How about you just fucking read it? Some of the use cases are just, it's baffling to me. In what fucking universe am I going to ask a computer to summarize a news article? I'm going to read the fucking news article.
I can understand if you're doing a bunch of research and you're lazy.
I guess.
That really is it.
I guess. It enables laziness? That's just... We've already got a bunch of shit.
What's funny is I've just loaded ChatGPT. Okay, and it gives you some prompts. It's create a workout plan, experience Seoul like a local, quiz me on world capitals, pick outfit to look good on camera.
Huh.
Okay, so I click the look good on camera, and it's like, outfit options, casual chic, men, dark jeans or chinos with a fitted shirt or polo in a dual tone. And a dual tone is rich colors like emerald green, sapphire blue. Who cares, man? We're throwing entire zoos into a furnace for this?
Right. The internet in general, and this is kind of why we originally were saying, the death of the internet is our big theme here tonight, but this is a perfect example. It's pointlessness. I mean, you've heard about the dead internet theory where like, oh, all this activity on the internet is actually bots. And while that may or may not be true, I mean, The Atlantic certainly has their theories about it, but because I think that's where the term was coined, but there's just so much useless shit on there. It's people gaming SEO to get on Google. It's people reposting obvious bullshit that's AI generated images of like disfigured children, and it says, "Have my birthday." Yeah,
no one will share this.
Yeah.
No one will share this because it's disgusting
Right.
and not real.
I do feel though I was ahead of the curve with my Drake AI images of him eating Chinese food out of a toilet.
Yes.
Very clearly the front runner of that.
Salieri to OpenAI's Mozart there.
But like, yeah, it's slop.
Okay, so I want to reveal something. I did click the one about being in Seoul,
Okay.
doing something in Seoul, right? And one of the recommendations is Korean barbecue at a local restaurant. Enjoy a traditional Korean barbecue dinner at a local off the beaten path restaurant. No recommendation of one.
Not even what dish to get.
No, just like you just go to you fucking tried food. I don't know. Like, and this is in a list. This is in a list of like different things, like of different things to do with like specific recommendations. It's just like, fucking, I don't know. Like, you ever try food?
Yeah, it's you ever had a metabolic reaction?
Thank you, ChatGPT. I will now experience Seoul like a local.
I'm gonna go for a plan.
Wait. Hold up a second.
Yeah.
Wait. 1 second. I think I found something that's very funny about it. Shandong Art Village. That appears to be in Shangwon. There's a recommendation here that is not in Seoul. Yeah, there's a recommendation to go to the Shandong Art Village, which is in Gyeongsangnam-do in South Korea, which is in a completely different part of the country. It won't even plot a route to it.
It's not even like it's a suburb of Seoul. It
is. They literally. Oh, it's because Google Maps is limited in Korea.
Oh.
But yeah, one of these things is not in Seoul. That's just this fucking rock. And that's the example they gave me.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, check this out. And that's hey, watch what we can do.
Well, the thing that bothers me the most about OpenAI, specifically ChatGPT, is that they advertise themselves as like, oh, we're going to help you generate code. I wouldn't put any of this code in anything that's not a test environment. Go compose a hello world, code in I don't know, JavaScript or whatever, and it's going to return me some nonsense. I mean, just here's one of the things you can do right for me. That's one of the things, and the prompt was write me a 1,000 word analysis on the future of GPT, and I clicked it, and it's a shittier version of a press release. I mean, there's nothing here.
Yeah.
So something I really want to ask you, because I have been listening to Better Offline. I've been enjoying it immensely. The stuff you've been doing with Robert on Behind the Bastards and It Can Happen Here, also really enjoyed quite a bit. Are you familiar with media theorist Douglas Rushkoff?
I'm not.
I feel like you're kind of hitting on some of the same things about the internet and social media that he was kind of middling around with about 10 years ago, and he had a little bit more of an optimistic viewpoint. He since has walked that back a bit. He
yeah, his book Survival of the Richest
is quite a good read. Life Inc. is probably my favorite one of his, which is kind of about like how do we get to like capitalism and how we've kind of mistaken the map for the territory in a way, I guess is a good way to summarize it. But I feel like you've kind of ran with some things, even if you didn't know. I got to ask, do you think we're looking at the death of the internet?
No. Sorry.
No, I mean, that's a perfectly valid answer. Is there a particular reason for hope?
No, I think the hope is there is much more internet than the major platforms.
Sure. True.
Discoverability on the internet is in a bad fucking place. But the thing that no one really wants to admit is shit sucks now more than it has before, but it's been bad for much longer. It really has been, and people have done such a god-awful fucking job covering how bad the internet has been for a while. And getting your content seen has never been as difficult as it has been for the last 5 fucking years. It's been terrible. The algorithms have been juiced to their limits. Ultimately, the thing that people really don't want to talk about is that the reason that a lot of people are famous, the Joe Rogans of the world, the Casey Newtons of the world, I realize they're two very different guys. They're famous because algorithms and because of companies, because they were able to get in with certain people. It's the same fucking hand-shandy bullshit that the entertainment industry was built on. What I'm saying is, there's also a growing movement of independent newsletters, of independent websites, the 404 Medias, the Defectors. Look at The Onion. Just talked to Ben Collins for an episode of Better Offline. There are many successful examples, and also when the money starts draining out of the standard advertising-driven internet, they will have to adapt, and they will adapt to actually building real shit again, because there will be no other option. They will try various stupid shit. They're trying it right now with AI. It is not fucking working. It just is not working. And it's wild how badly it's not working. What I think the media in general is going to do, in my opinion, is you're going to see more leaning towards opinion journalism. Reason Better Offline's doing well, Where's Your Edit's doing well, is because people actually want to hear someone's thoughts rather than just as objective as possible an account of some stuff with no context or real evaluation of the situation in any way. Young people don't fucking read the news. They don't watch the news. They listen to influencers.
Right.
The term influencer is a bit vague. But also, it's not like people find stuff on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok. They really do. But on some level, it can't really get much worse. Facebook dying will be what changes everything. And I do believe that that's going to happen. I think that it's either going to die or like collapse in such a way that things have to change dramatically. And they'll sell us back the idea of a Facebook that works and we'll all have to pretend it's good. But they're going to get desperate and things are going to get fucking weird first. And when they get weird, they're going to be so fucking strange. Facebook is just the beginning.
Yeah, it's
like when you look at what Facebook is right now, that's what Google is going to be like very soon. It's already kind of there. And they claim, oh yeah, I've seen people misreport, by the way, and it just fills me full of rage. People reporting, oh yeah, so they've stopped Google AI results. That's not fucking true at all.
No.
They're still showing them. They've pulled back a few of them.
Mm-hmm.
But they're still there. And also, you think they're just never gonna bring it back? They're gonna be like, yep, well, we're never doing AI again. Fuck no. They're gonna bring it back in a different form, a safer form in like a month.
Yeah.
And as things get worse and these Department of Justice things begin to move through, something's gotta give. In my latest episodes, I talk about this. The traffic to most of the web's major platforms is dropping, or has been dropping for years. Almost every single one. Maybe not Reddit or LinkedIn, weirdly, because people need to find a job, I guess. Even Google. Now, Google is not, and Facebook is not, and neither of them are organizations that would actually make a change that would help. They will just be like, we will double down on our bad ideas now. That's the good thing. That's what people think is good. We need to make the ideas worse. I think that what's going to happen is something is going to happen with the public markets when they just go, wait, none of this AI shit makes any money, and these platforms are going to start freaking out. I don't really know exactly what happens, but I'll tell you, something is going to change. Now, the reason the internet isn't dying is people are making more shit than ever. There are more distribution platforms than ever. There are more people having the ability to create independent content and actually building an audience, no matter how small, than ever. It's actually easier to do that. It's quite difficult to scale,
Right.
but you can still build a modest audience just by keeping going through it. It's easier than ever to create really good content. Fuck Daniel Ek, fuck Spotify, by the way. That whole thing about, the cost of content's lower than ever. No, the cost of making good content is lower than ever. Like, I'm sitting in front of a Shure M7V.
Mm-hmm.
This is a $300 mic. Still, like, not cheap, but this sounds better than the $450 Electro Voice I have. And it doesn't require anything other than the USB cable. Even the, $150 Elgato mics are really good. Yeah. The barrier to entry making good shit right now is low. It's not super duper low, but you can actually make stuff pretty quick. And you can distribute it super easily. There is more of that, and there's more of a hunger from people for that.
Yeah.
And yeah, the big platforms and the big organizations are about to get hit real hard.
Yeah.
But that will force them to actually foster a fucking audience again.
You mentioned Daniel Ek. That post the other day. Today, with the cost of creating content being close to zero, no, it fucking isn't. It's not anywhere close to zero. It's cheaper. It's getting better.
When you're a fucking billionaire, time doesn't exist.
Yeah. Well, it's the out-of-touch people. They can't grapple with the material reality. They don't fucking understand.
Well, they don't deal with problems. It's not like Daniel Ek wakes up and goes, oh, fuck, I hope I don't lose my job. Of being rich and running a company for shareholders. I hope that I don't get fired as CEO of Spotify. And also, if that happens, I will still have hundreds of millions of liquid capital. at my disposal. I could do literally nothing and I would be fine forever. Yeah, he doesn't face problems.
Yeah.
He may have mental health problems. He may not have a soul, which is a problem that Sam faced in Supernatural in a thrilling season. And the devil told him, don't scratch the itch because, well, when that happens, he'd face the problems he faced in hell. But that's not what Daniel Ek is facing.
Yeah.
He is facing the problem of no problems at all.
Yeah.
Sundar Pichai doesn't exist. These people don't speak to normal people. They barely speak to the people who work for them. They don't use their products. They have no interest in their products. They have only interest in not even shareholder value, in growth. Growth at all costs, as I've said 100 million fucking times.
No, but I mean, it's an important thing to hear because it is absolutely true. That's the thing.
And big respect to Nitish Power over at Slate, who posted yesterday, Spotify sucks. That's it. That's the headline. The music streaming giant is hiking prices, fighting lawsuits, and laying off employees. But hey, at least investors are happy. Thank you. Fucking thank you. Journalism fucking sucks at the moment because things like this don't dominate. This should be what everyone is saying. Not, Spotify, the needs of the users are going up against the needs of the shout. No! The product's bad, but the company's making more money than ever. What do you think's the problem, genius?
Yeah.
The problem is people are not aggressively interrogating these companies. And yes, they'll probably stay rich, but they shouldn't be able to have dinner outside.
Yeah. They should be harassed.
Like Sam Altman said he can't eat in public in San Francisco. And it's because he's too famous. And my problem is he shouldn't be able to have dinner outside because people should be fucking throwing shit at him.
Yeah.
They should be going up to him and say, Sam, why are you throwing entire zoos into a furnace to power a cluster of GPUs to answer incorrectly, what can I do in Seoul? Sam, what happened with your sister? Hey, Sam, what happened with you getting fired from OpenAI? What a nasty little bastard that man is. God damn. Anyway, that's my next episode.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Let's go.
This is the thing, though. I know it, like, I had to ride the fine line of getting in trouble, but at the same time, no one seems to mind because I think the tech industry as a monolith is the wrong way to look at it. I actually think everyone's kind of mad at, I think it's genuinely sentiment from the people I know in tech. They're mad at big tech. Startup founders aren't looking at Google or Spotify or OpenAI and saying, what a great company. They're like, wow, this fucking blows. This sucks. This sucks so bad.
Yeah.
And I think it's just, at some point, the tech media has to pick a side. And it's between big tech and their fucking readers.
Yeah.
And I am sick of this shit. Nilay Patel at The Verge the other day, he did an interview with Eric Yuan, CEO of Zoom. And this interview was about how Zoom CEO wanted AI-powered agents to take over your calls. They join calls for you. Little detail about that, Nilay. He said it would take years to do this. And Nilay Patel's just like, yeah, okay, well, sounds great. Sounds great. That's great. I'll just move on from that. At one point, he's like, Nilay Patel runs The Verge. He's a great journalist. He's a fucking working lawyer. He's smart than this. He goes, well, yeah, you as the CEO, you're the busiest person in the organization. What are you fucking talking about, man? Come on.
Yeah.
Based on what? What boss have you known that worked harder than you?
I can't think of one.
Kara Swisher? You think Kara Swisher worked that hard? Jesus Christ. I think my only unique thing is no one else is bitter. Not bitter, just like no one else is just grinding, has a hole full of axes that they grind every day. It's the British journalist effect.
Righteous indignation. This is the stuff that we all want to say. Some of us are too in politics. Some people are beholden to these people. There's a perverse incentive structure involved. And fuck them.
But also, it pisses me off because people like Nilay, he's a smart fella. He's written some really good stuff. He's smarter than this. Why fucking kiss the ring for fucking Zoom CEO? Really? Zoom as a product is the same as it's been for years, and it's actually got worse. This is the time. You don't even need to be mean. You can just say, hey, Eric, quick question. The CEO of Zoom, can you tell me why Zoom looks the same now? Can you tell me why the AI transcription feature costs like $50 a month and requires you to fucking email someone and go through a sales call?
Ooh.
Like basic things that's the thing. Like there are actual things that you should ask these people.
Right.
And they don't get asked. And I have to wonder if it's just not wanting to rock the boat. But what access are you losing not speaking to the CEO of Zoom? Are you trying to signal to the other CEOs, I'm not going to give you the business?
Yeah.
I'm going to be a nice boy. When he interviewed Sundar Pichai of Google, he did this paper tiger thing of like asking, being like, well, look at these search results. And he showed him some results about Google Chrome, and it was messy. He should have just shown him Google News, a product that's been broken for years. There are very obvious problems. I can't work it out. It can't just be access. It cannot. I think that there's a decorum problem. I think that they're like, well, if I'm too nasty, people will think I'm a nasty boy. And maybe they're right, but we need more nasty boys.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I don't think there's a tech journalism Hunter Thompson, but maybe there should be. Maybe that's an extreme example.
I don't know if a Hunter... No. It's actually a good one. You need more of a Lester Bangs in my
Fair.
You need someone who genuinely loves the way I see it is you need more people who actually enjoy technology, who actually really give a shit about this. Like, I really fucking love my tech. Tech has changed my life. After this, I'm probably going to go airplay a fucking yoga class to a TV in a couple taps of my phone and do it. And that's interesting. Tonal. I lift with tonal.
Yeah.
It's fucking great. There are cool things in tech. Tech is the reason I'm like the drill crying tweet, but with the internet. I get the fuck out of my office. And that's the thing. I'm mad because tech can be really fucking cool, and it isn't right now. And it isn't because these people are allowed to mince around farting out PR statements. I think that's what people need more of. They need someone. People might say I'm a pessimist. Fuck no. I love my tech. I use my tech all day. I really love the fact that I can just fucking spin up a random microphone, plug it into my laptop, and be talking to people thousands of miles away. That's cool. And we can do a podcast with a web browser. That's really cool shit. Tech's wonderful in many ways. But then you've got the people at the top who are not building tech.
Right.
They're not built. They are not people who are in the business of building technology and selling it. They're in the business of using technology to manipulate people to make them money. And they've got better and better and better at it every fucking year, to the point that the products are bordering on unusable. And it's gross and it's disgusting. Don't like to tell people how to feel, but I'm pissed off at it.
Yeah.
And I think many people are. And I think people who are not what they would consider nerds, and there's many of them, who are angry about this and aware of this. Giving them a voice is important, but also the reassurance that they're not fucking crazy. And I'm not sure many of these big outlets actually get that. There are exceptions, like Wall Street Journal has some really great people who are doing great reporting, like Jeff Horwitz, George Wells, and all them over at the Journal did great things on Facebook, the Facebook Files, Tom Doughton, Burbagin, who's the other one? Keach, something over at the Wall Street Journal, done amazing work about Sam Altman, Tasha Tiku, Will Somer at Washington Post. There are great journalists doing great journalism. But without a bit of opinion, people are kind of left with a what's next, or a why does this matter, or what does this mean? And that's the problem. The evil people out there, the right-wing types who are increasingly close to the tech industry, those people are empowered by the fact that they don't give a fuck. They don't care about objectivity. They care about winning. Kind of reflects the Democrats versus the Republicans. And as long as we sit there and say, oh, the CEO of Google's touching my phone, which is what Nilay did, and he should be fucking ashamed of himself. He handed his phone to fucking Sundar Pichai. He's like, oh, the CEO of Google's touching my phone. Oh, I should be nervous. Fucking pantomime bullshit. You should have had a clean Chromebook sitting there ready to fucking hit him.
Metaphoric.
And Sundar Pichai still got pissed off when he asked these softball questions. Imagine how mad he'd get if he'd just been like, yeah, Google News has been broken and here's how.
Right. This sucks. Why?
Yeah, I prepared this. Yeah, why is this bad now? Even if he gave a mealy-mouthed, shitty answer, you just say, Sundar, I'm sorry, I'm not sure I get what you mean. Could you elaborate a little bit? Very basic fucking things. But I think people are scared. People are scared of being haters. They're scared of being too negative. They're scared because they think that people will conflate negativity with an unwillingness to listen or a lack of affinity for the truth. When the truth is, when you are objective, when you fail to make a statement, when you pull your punches, you are actually doing that. You are actually pulling away from the truth. You give people the facts, but you don't give them the truth. And this is what pisses me off, because I see this every day. My day job as a PR person. Like, I'm pitching these people. It's great for my clients when they're not particularly critical. But guess what? They're so critical of startups. Early stage startups, they just rip to shreds. But fucking the most important man in tech, they're like, no, I don't know if we should. I don't know if we need to be so mean on Mr. Pichai. What if we hurt his feelings? He only made $200 million last year. He might have to cry in his Scrooge McDuck pool. Anyway, sorry for soapboxing.
No. This is why we listen to Better Offline, but also why we wanted to talk to you about this very topic, because we know you're passionate. It takes someone being passionate. It takes that fire to at least make a dent. Like we talked about Buddyhead a while back. I mean, they were vicious.
They were super fucking. I mean, that's what.
Who's Buddyhead? Tell me about that.
They were a music website, reviews and music news.
Also a small label. The main thing about Buddyhead, I think how a lot of people found out about them, is they had a gossip page, and they would just talk endless amounts of shit. They gave out Courtney Love's phone number so many times that she said, "Hey, I would pay your rent." They were apparently in the same building as CNN Hustler in LA for a while. "I will pay your rent for the rest of the year for your guys' office if you just leave me the fuck alone." They're like, "Oh, okay, cool." So they left her alone for a year. I think
that's so good.
Yeah, this is like 20-something years ago. Travis Keller, the main guy, he had a meeting at Interscope back in the day. And when he was walking out, he saw Fred Durst's office door. And he's like, "Oh, shit, it's unlocked." So he walks in and he steals a platinum record and a bunch of Fred Durst Yankees hats, and he poses with them all over the internet, and then he puts them on eBay with the promise to donate all profits to a rape prevention charity or something along those lines because of the Woodstock ordeal, which had happened a couple of years before. So these guys were like the bad boys of music journalism. They wrote "sucking dicks" on the Strokes tour bus. The S's were dollar signs, but Travis Keller also is like gone.
British Magazine would have said "stroking off."
Oh, missed opportunity.
There's so many people, like I'll wear a Buddyhead shirt when I go to shows sometimes, and there'll just be like a random other weird guy being like, "Yeah, man, fucking Buddyhead, that's tight." And I'm like, "Yeah, man, what was your favorite prank?" And what was your favorite time they gave out someone's phone number? Oh, it was one of the guys from NSYNC. Or for me, it's always they gave out one of the Olsen twins phone numbers, and they're like, "Ask if she's the one that's on coke." Like which tells you the signs of the time, or the what we thought was interesting and edgy. But this was a media website, a humor, I guess a bit of a humor website that was transgressive, that was funny, that was interesting. And it's like, there's nothing like that anymore. We have ultra sanitized Pitchfork. I mean, when I write my music reviews, when I go out and cover stuff, like I sometimes feel real icky about being mean, when 10 years ago, my reputation as someone who wrote about music, that documented live music, was kind of that I was a prick.
Well, I mean, that's why your URL is assholemusicphotographer.com.
Yeah, because I was just kind of like,
I wonder what this guy's about.
And of course, also the joke is I got some big fat opinions about music and art and stuff, but like I also think that like I'm kind of a decent person, so it's like, and that would bum people out sometimes. Like 10 years ago,
find out you're not an asshole.
They find out like I'm not that prick that I am when I'm like talking about Jack White's solo career. And I would go out on dates with chicks that I think had an understanding of me that wasn't correct, and they're like, "Oh, he's actually kind of a nice guy. He's not going to choke me out and spit in my mouth and then tell me I'm an idiot for listening to mindless self-indulgence."
I didn't think that anyone who'd want to date me would listen to the podcast. Maybe I should post pictures of me working out during.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Oh God. 1002. Oh,
I didn't see you there. Yeah.
Sorry, I was just getting better offline.
This looks like a 5-pound weight, but it's actually a very dense metal. It's about 50.
It's made of osmium, and it's 7,000 pounds. Yeah, that's the other thing with me though, and I'm a big sweetie pie. Like I love my friend. I'm extremely I will pick up the phone for any friend anytime. Like I love my friends. I love the things I love so much. Like none of my anger, and it sounds like none of yours either, comes from a place of even hate. It's just like knowing it can be better.
Exactly.
Knowing those moments that actually fucking matter. Like music wise, like this week I've been listening to someone upscaled this Elliott Smith concert on YouTube back in 2021. Incredible. Like just so fucking beautiful. And like I can watch that on YouTube outside, have a smoke, listen to music, and it's beautiful. It sounds amazing, and it's like I can understand someone having that moment and then hearing something just fucking sucks. You can hear in the song that they don't give a shit. It's just the fucking same regurgitated shit. Doesn't matter to them at all. And I can understand being angry about that. I can understand why you'd say, yeah, this is fucking vapid shit. It doesn't mean anything. It feels corporatized. It feels just churned out. Yeah, that is part of the human experience. We know when we're being sold very processed shit.
Yeah.
Anyone who conflates your frustration with that, with some sort of hating or hateful nature, is just fucking myopic. Like, if you don't have opinions, like, if there are not things you feel passionately annoyed about, I just wonder how much of a life you've lived.
No, absolutely. Part of the no haterism that we're kind of experiencing, and then that's kind of emerged over the last, I don't know, half decade or so, is that, and you touched about this earlier, if we're negative, then we lose access. We are shutting ourselves off from the world if we are nothing but yes men and complete ass kissers.
Stenographers, almost.
Yeah. And, I was like covering Ferguson. There were people we called stenographers, that they were just completely towing the line given to them by the police reps and PR spokesmen and all that. And then there were people that were immediately calling these reps, these spokesmen, and these journalists, quote unquote, on their bullshit immediately. But I didn't have to worry. I was freelancing. I was on spec. So I didn't have to worry about losing access because I didn't have, it's like Nick Mullen telling people, like, what are you going to do? Get me fired? I'm doing my own shit here. Like, I can't get fired from the me factory.
And that's the fun thing with Better Offline, because yeah, I have a PR business. But guess what? None of the shit I'm talking about actually, like, no client is like, yeah, actually, I love making useless products.
Well, yeah, I can't imagine.
I love being associated with the death of the tech industry. No, and a lot of them read it and they're like, fuck yeah, absolutely.
People can smell bullshit, and your client's no exception. Like, they can smell bullshit.
But also, half my life's talking to reporters. They don't respect me because I'm a PR person. They respect me because I got them hot takes.
Well, that's true too.
And also, I do deep research. I'm also a very petty person, I'll fully admit. Someone on Reddit was like, he doesn't have any evidence. He just rants and there's no evidence. As of these episodes, I created a document with all my links. A Better Offline link document. Now, one moment. I just really want to pull up the exact numbers.
Yeah, because I pulled that up earlier today at the Discord, and I was like,
there are 44 citations in the first episode of the .com bubble. That is a half an hour episode.
Yeah.
There are 25, and the next one's actually 45 minutes, so it doesn't quite sound as good, but 25 links in that one. And it's like, motherfucker, I bring receipts. I am pissed, but I'm not misinformed. This is not just off the dome. And that's the thing. Are there people who just rant without that? I mean, Joe Rogan, obviously, but like, I don't know. This is the only way I know how to fly. Everything I'm pissed, sure, but I'm not doing it based off of nothing. I read all the time. I'm a psychopath. And I don't know. It frustrates me because there was a time that there were really good tech opinion columnists. And also, you really cannot get me fired from where'syourEd.at. What are you going to do? Fire me from... I have had people reach out to me about me. Like, they email info@easypr.com. Like, well, I recently heard something that you're someone who works for you. And I'll respond and be like, oh, who was it? Oh, Ed Zitron. Great. Well, that's me. There was one recently that reached out about someone who works for me because he said something about Kevin Kavanaugh a few years ago. Or was the Supreme Court judge?
Yeah. Brett Kavanaugh. Yeah,
Brett Kavanaugh. Sorry, and he reached out and said, "Yeah, he'll be punished under the Beaufort Protocol." And the guy's like, "Oh, very mature." I'm like, both of these.
Oh man,
it's just like, what are you gonna do, man?
Yeah.
Like, and if anyone ever emails my clients, I will send a fucking lawyer to live in their anus. I will spend real money just. Don't fuck with me. But also, no one's doing that. Like, the people I'm attacking and the way I'm attacking them, I'm not attacking them saying they're scum for no reason. The Facebook episode, Jesus Christ, hours of work reading so many things. But that's the only way to fly, because if you're just getting pissed off for no reason, yeah, you're just a fucking hater. You're just a grumpy piece of shit, and you don't get to be this mad if you're not this well sourced. Yeah. But if it comes from experience, then go nuts. Fuck them. I'm sick of this. I'm sick because we have never had more information about decline of the tech industry and never more reasons to be pissed off.
I've got something the ad, which I feel relevant. My brother was on the blogger team in the early 2000s when they were acquired by Google. And I feel like probably in your research, like on Twitter and stuff like that, you'll come across, I'm sure you're familiar with like Evan Williams, like Jason Goldman and all that.
Yes.
I actually fell asleep on Jason Goldman's couch one time, which watching Triplets of Belleville, which is weird also to think that happened and he has gone become who he is. But I'm also not even, I think, 3 degrees removed from Barack Obama, and I'm just some dumbass in the Midwest. Anyways, my brother was a very passionate programmer, and a lot of the people from Blogger, I feel like, were a lot of the like-minded sort, and they just happened to be all part of this thing that got absorbed by Google, and they were all very excited to be part of this new hot thing that Google was, and also like a lot of them had been a part of startups, and like back when regional ISPs, like fucking remember when newspapers would have their own ISP?
Oh God.
Yeah. These guys put in their dues, they were smart and they were passionate, and then they got to Google and it seemed like the souls got sucked out of them, and they're like, the paycheck was great, but it wasn't good enough for what they were losing. And they went off and did other things.
Yeah.
And my brother, I was always a little confused when I was younger because Jason Goldman, Evan Williams went off to do Twitter, and Jack Dorsey and I think Biz Stone, a bunch of people from Google kind of jumped over onto that boat, but my brother didn't go with them. And, I come from a pretty lower middle class family. And so we're all looking at my brother who's the shining star on the hill. Like, you fucking did it, bro. And they're like, why'd you not take that jump? Like, he probably could have had a C-suite office at Twitter or something like that. Easy peasy. But a couple of years ago, I was talking to him about something, and he was like, well, all those guys now, they're kind of miserable in a way that I'm not. Like, yeah, sure, maybe they're financially sound, but like they're always going to have to worry about money in a way that I'm not. Like, I know my finances, they don't. They're always going to have to be second guessing everything they're doing. I'm not. And he lives a pretty modest, peaceful life. And those guys, I mean, I guess they're doing cool shit, but look at also the tentacles they put out into the world.
Well, Jason Goldman absolutely is not doing cool shit.
What is he doing now?
Buying Twitter followers, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
This man has, so this is the level of petty I am. Jason Goldman, I keep being told to follow this guy. I currently follow him. I now unfollowed him. So, not that everything he posts, by the way, is retweets, which is just a disgraceful way to live one's life. But also, he has 899,600 followers. Scrolling down to his last tweet, which is in November 2023, he got 30 likes and 1 retweet. That is not indicative of real followers.
Paltry.
In fact, it suggests completely the opposite. And his pinned tweet, 42 retweets, 275 likes from 2 years ago. This man bought followers. I'm sorry, man. You cannot be doing this. This is not someone with a poster's spirit. I have no idea who Jason is. Like, I do not know what his history is. I was told to follow him a few times. He is one of a handful of people that was shuffled in front of me, and I was told, don't go so hard on them. I know you've prejudged them entirely based on gut, which is true. Completely true. Cory Doctorow was the other one, and I was just dead wrong. Corey's cool. I misjudged him. But also the reference point for him was like, Robert Evans was like, hey, Corey's cool. And I'm like, okay, if Robert likes him.
Robert Evans is vouching for anyone. That's obviously going to be a good set there.
But also Corey's work actually fucking rocks. I don't know who Jason is, and I'm tired of being told to follow these people.
I only met Jason a handful of times, and he always seemed all right. My brother, they were actually very close friends. They worked at a shitty software store that's now a Honey Baked Ham in Creve Coeur. And my brother used to always laugh about how, I think the story is that Jason Goldman was actually always doing like fucking shady shit at the software store, but the owner thought so much of Jason for being like a smart kid. Like, no way that guy's fucking me. And Jason might have been fucking him.
Oh my God.
Like, might have been like stealing copies of Tomb Raider or some shit. I don't remember exactly.
Man, that's so cool. Okay, maybe I should follow him again.
But like, I don't know how he is now, but how I knew him was kind of just like a funky West Coast tech guy, which seemed,
he doesn't seem like a bad guy.
He's got a wife and kids now, worked in the Obama administration, which take that however you want to take it. But I remember a million years ago being on Gizmodo and seeing a piece about the Twitter office. And it was like their first office. It was really small in San Francisco. And there was a Tempest machine in the corner. And like, I know where that fucking came from, because one of the few times my brother came back to St. Louis in the 2000s, was him and Goldman. They took a week or so off from work, and they went to take it from the basement of Goldman's parents and take it back, and they drove it all the way back to San Francisco. And it was a crazy road trip that I can't do justice, involving shitty hotels and taking the Tempest machine out of the truck and posing it by the edge of the Grand Canyon and all this stuff. And but like apparently his uncle won in a card game in the 80s, and I guess he just like, let's put it in the fucking Twitter office. And again, for a guy like me, from my background, like the know we're like, hey, this thing at the Twitter, I know where this came from, felt kind of neat. But then we see also how you've been talking about like things like Twitter and Facebook just kind of so sharply fallen off and become so alienating. I don't know, probably since like what, 2011, 2012, you want to say?
Yeah.
2019 is the year that I noticed it, but I think it's really 2017 when things started to sour.
I could see that. Yeah. Like the venture capitalist mindset going really large, to pivot the video. When this all of a sudden it felt like the party was over, but there's still someone that wants to have the DJ keep playing, fucking boom tisk.
Chesto's still here.
It's time for your mom's favorite part of the show. It's time for the breath mint.
We're about at that part of the show where we're going to be doing what we like to call the breath mint. Now, we didn't show you anything gross, but we have been talking about, I don't know, tech stuff that makes us feel bad. So
it's kind of like a gross photo.
Kind of. So this is part of the show where we talk about things that we've seen, read, played, whatever you feel like talking about. And Ed, since you're our guest, do you have something that's been tickling your fancy this past week or so?
The Elliott Smith concert. So
I want to hear more about this.
It's a Bumbershoot Festival 2000. It is not just an amazing sounding concert. It is also, like, the person used AI upscaled and color corrected, but it's 2021, so before all the bullshit. It's also just an insane set list. Like, there is it goes Needle in the Hay, Bled White, Stupidity. Like, Bled White is the only slightly off song, and it's still great. There are fantastic versions of some of my favorites, but also there is a version of Christian Brothers on it that is so good. It is so fucking good. I mean, you've got Junk Bond Trader, you've got Son of Sam, probably the best song off of Figure Eight. It's just an incredible concert, but it sounds amazing too. It sounds fucking phenomenal.
Oh.
It is so good. I was saying this on Blue Sky the other day. It's like, I can't really judge Taylor Swift fans, because if I was at this concert, I'd be fucking crying my eyes out at some point. Like, I'd be weeping during Christian Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
Angry tears. I've listened to it maybe 6 times in the last 2 weeks. It's so good. It probably says how I'm doing mentally. Also, another recommendation, go on YouTube and look up Them Crooked Vultures. You familiar with Them Crooked Vultures?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Love Them Crooked Vultures, folks.
They're great.
So there is the Rocker Palace 2009 Them Crooked Vultures show. It is, first of all, the entire album, which is phenomenal, including Highway 1, which didn't make it onto the album. Like, the audio on this is some of the best audio I've heard in it sounds better than the album, better than most live gigs.
Huh.
It is just an incredible show. Fucking hell, it's so good. And you can also hear, what's the bassist called?
John Paul
Jones, yeah.
There are bits where he's doing bass solos that are just genuinely ridiculous. And he just looks like he's thinking of something else. Boom, 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 and he's just like, oh, fuck. Oh, it's shit. I wonder if General Hospital's on.
Yeah.
Shit, did I TiVo? It's boom, 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 boom. It's so good. It's so, so good. And then there's the song Spinning in the Daffodils, which is my favorite song of the album, ends with this insane John Paul Jones solo. Now, to be clear, he is a bassist.
Right.
But he's just like, yeah, I'm just going to fucking play a piano solo. It's amazing. And he's just like, yeah, this is just what I do. And he's the bassist from Led Zeppelin, of course. Just really, both of those concerts are so good. So very fucking good.
I bookmarked them as soon as you said okay. I put those on my list.
Yeah, I'll have to check those out. Shit.
Brian, about yourself? Seen any good shows lately?
What I've been getting into? Just fucking getting the house together. My girlfriend had her surgery. Her mom's been over and has been doing some super mom stuff, helping us get the house put together, cooking a ton of delicious food. Watching the new Interview with the Vampire show.
Okay.
Which I had been told was really good and been, I don't know, putting it off for whatever reason, but this just felt right with everything that we were doing, because my girlfriend wanted the house to be very like intimate and dark and spooky feeling, which is a vibe that I can fuck with. And we got there, and like, I guess we should watch some spooky ass TV. And Prestige TV is back, folks.
Yeah, television.
It's back, folks.
It's back. Get Matt Crispin, get him some smelling salts. Prestige TV is back.
Wake his ass up. It's time. Yeah.
Have any of y'all watched it?
I have not. No, I
have not. No.
Who is it? AMC who has that?
It's AMC. Louis is played by the guy who did Grey Worm and Game of Thrones, and absolutely killing it. Some of his personification of the character reminds you of Brad Pitt's, but not in the way that seems derivative. It feels like a little familiar. But then he builds off of that in some really interesting directions. And then Lestat is played by a guy who I think is a relatively unknown individual. But they kind of change a lot of. I've never read the book. My girlfriend and her mom, Kim, have both read it, I believe, and they tell me that the book or the movie is much more faithful to the book than the show. But the show, what it does with that source material is very creative and very interesting. So instead of Louis being like a slave owner, like a plantation owner, he is the son of a man who owned a black man who owned a plantation. Is now the executor of the state now that his father has passed, and now he owns like brothels and flop houses and stuff like that, much to the shame of his family. But at the same time, it's also keeping them in the style of life that they're accustomed to, so they can't really bitch too much. And eventually he meets Lestat, and the beats are very familiar to the movie, but they go in some different directions. Because it's a TV show and not a 2.5 hour movie, they can really kind of chew the fat and hit the themes about like what it means to be like Louis is a vampire who is much more in touch with his sense of humanity even as he gets further from it. And Lestat is
he played by Louis C.K. I'm gonna suck someone's blood. You
can't go out in sunlight.
Sam Reed is Lestat. The young woman they got to play Claudia, I think, might be stealing the show. Brings a lot of life and pathos into the story. It just feels like they had a lot of fun making it, like exploring these ideas.
That's good.
That's my favorite kind of thing. Even if it doesn't even particularly resonate with me.
You can tell when they're having a laugh with it.
Everyone's on the same fucking page.
No, sorry. That's what I mean. Like having a good time, like actually enjoying themselves. Like not just give a shit, but they're having a good.
Yeah, I kind of felt that way about the Fallout show. Everyone
that Fallout, like,
yo, that was so good. Oh my god,
better than it had any right to be, and it obviously was made with such an eye for detail and accuracy towards the source material. And the things that it does that strays like still makes sense.
Well, I mean, that's Jonathan Nolan, Person of Interest, and Westworld, and I mean,
well, Westworld is also there.
I liked it, but anyway, your mileage may vary, but Person of Interest, absolutely,
it's just too prestige for me.
But you can tell it's that eye for detail he has. That,
but also very good at finding. So here was my problem with Westworld. It was not this, and it missed what Fallout and Person of Interest had, which is the people acting did not seem to be enjoying it. They weren't fun to watch. I found them also fucking drab. But Fallout, everyone's a laugh. I love it.
I really enjoyed Westworld. I kind of wish we would have got that final season just to put a bow on it.
I'm sorry. I like people to agree with all my opinions.
I mean, I understand why people don't like it. It's not a fucking perfect show by any means, but I think the stuff that was interesting, you kind of go with the bullshit to get like the good part. Even if that's only a couple minutes an episode, or maybe only a couple episodes per season really fucking hit. It's like you had to kind of drudge through it to get to the good shit. Yeah, with Interview with the Vampire, like the lighting, a lot of naturally lit scenes, like candlelight scenes, it's going to be really hard to look correct. Obviously, you can use light modifiers; that's what they're using. But give the proper illusion. This is a very warm. These are warm spaces being lit by gas lamps or early, electric lights and things like that. And the costumes are fucking amazing. Everyone looks great. I'm just having a blast with it. If you have any interest in an incredibly gay but thoughtful vampire show, I cannot recommend it more.
Okay. AMC. All right. And then for me, I just saw, speaking of live performances, went out to St. Louis's Shakespeare at the Forest Park stage, the Shakespeare Glen there. This year they're doing one of my favorite Shakespeare plays, As You Like It. Just probably one of the better comedies that he ever wrote, because it's just a series of absurd romance triangles and cross-dressing, and it's a hoot.
It's a great one. Yeah.
And there's some great performers. One of our St. Louis musicians, Beth Bombara, is not only in the show as a minor role, but also performs some of the music,
that's awesome.
transitioning between scenes. You know, it's a free thing. You get to show up with all your stuff and just hang out in this beautiful park and watch a handful of extremely good actors do their thing, and they're having fun. It's clearly a blast for them, and it shows, man. So if you're in St. Louis, Shakespeare Festival goes to the end of June, I believe.
Yeah.
That's a hoot. And then I did see the movie The Fall Guy.
Fall Guy passed the smell test.
The Fall Guy passes the smell test. I feel like
It stood up. Sorry.
Exactly. Your mileage may vary, again, because if you're kind of sick of Gosling doing a kind of a cheesy action hero, then you might not dig it. But if you can get on its wavelength, it's got him and Emily Blount. I'm puffing on that Emily Blount.
Oh, I would get so very high off that Blount.
Call me Office Jim the way I hit that Blount. Anyway, sorry. But you've also got Hannah Waddingham playing this producer named Gail. I immediately thought of James Cameron's go-to producer, Gail Ann Hurd.
She could hit me with her car any day.
Oh, Hannah Waddingham? Yeah, she's
Run me over twice.
But she's playing this super producer who's like trying to be a fixer and like trying to be a superstar and all this stuff. And it's a hoot. It gets a little silly, but it's, again, you saw Bullet Train, you know how this kind of writer-director combo kind of does. It's very much in their wheelhouse. And the stunts are great. If it's a movie about stuntmen, you got to have good stunts, and it definitely hits that one. A solid 3 out of 5. You know what I mean?
A lot of fun out of those 3 out of 5s, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not going to win any awards. Nobody's going to be, doing Barbenheimer numbers off it. But I feel like if you're in the vicinity of a drive-in or a cheap theater, you can really get the full experience. It's a hoot.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it.
Okay. Well, that about does for the show. We're going to tell you where to find us online. Ed, why don't you go ahead and start us off?
At Ed Zitron, betteroffline.com has all my links. Please click all of them. Download everything. Please help me. I need every download. I need them all. I am very sick.
Eds only do this when they're very upset. Yeah.
Very upset. Please download everything. You can find me on at Ed Zitron, zitron.bsky.social. I'm also on Threads, but I just want to say it's worst social network out there.
Yeah,
I'd rather go on
sucks.
LinkedIn.
It sucks.
The amount of people that seemingly are just chewing on lead paint chips that are posting on Threads.
Yeah, like it really has a strong lead paint situation.
What you say about Facebook and like Twitter and like the cognitive dissonance, I feel like is somehow amplified on Threads, and I can't figure out how we got there, but it definitely feels like, I am looking at feels like I'm looking at 4chan in like the early 2000s.
Oof. Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be here.
No.
But it's not like that. It doesn't feel, it's the least daring social network ever, but the people are just as annoying.
You're like the only person I follow that's like super active on Threads.
I'm not even that active. That's the thing. It's so boring.
But I get like served stuff of people that are like being like very like navel gazing. Like I'm like very pick me stuff. Like creative individuals like talking about like other people are assholes or this guy didn't pay me, so I'm putting them on. But they have maybe like a legitimate grievance, but the way they're going about it is also like really fucking obnoxious.
You're putting them in blast on Threads. Who's going to read it?
Yeah, I'm sure they're also cross posting, but there's just some weird brain worm vibe on Threads that every time I check it, which is like once a week, I'm like, this fucking sucks. And I'm like, oh, okay, here's some Ed stuff. Okay, that's good. That's funny. And then like, it's back to like, also like the OnlyFans girls on there. I get served like such a weird cross section of stuff because I only follow so many people. I don't really interact with the platform. So what I get served as like the recommended for you stuff is all over the place and it's all fucking weird. I'm one day I feel like I'm gonna go on there and see a guy like deep fry his own hand for 5 likes. It's just
Jesus. So where can they find you online, Brian, to show you
Jeez,
that
now
video?
Fucking threads.
Yeah.
Um,
To show you the video of the guy deep frying his ham, where can they find you?
that'll be a future shock time. Ah!
Yeah, no shit.
Just, my hand's crispy now. If you want to tell me where I can go fry my hands, you can find me on iShotGuideboard, ISHOTGUIDBORD. That's mostly on Twitter if you want to find me using that bullshit. On Instagram, you can find me at a music photographer. If you want to check out my music photography portfolio, it's assholemusicphotographer.com. You want to check out some photos with some words, I do a little bit of that over on musicphotographer.com. If you want to check out, which has now become really the last and only good media website in St. Louis, you go over to the artsstl.com. I think Jason Green's going to be finally wrapping up that write-up for Postal Service and Death Cab for Cutie. You can also check out my little review of Swans from last month.
Okay.
I'm the animal.
The band.
The band,
Just finally took a look at the Swan. Next too long.
Michael Gira, the angriest man in the world. His plumage is coming in great this year, folks. The cowboy hat's matching perfectly. So there's that. I don't think I have anything else. Jason, where can we find you?
Well, you can find me at any place that there's a video crime. Chances are it's going to be me. That's VIDEOCRIME. We're going to be the usuals, Twitter, Blue Sky, various places, with the exception of Instagram and TikTok. There I am, Laser Goose CEO. You can find the show, 48minutesdogsbarking.com, but you probably already knew that. Shoot us an email, jason at 48minutesdogsbarking.com or Brian with a Y at 48minutesdogsbarking.com. Give us a call, 314-246-9766. That's 314-AHOY-POO, if you like to spell with your telephone. And support the show, patreon.com/48minutesofdogs. There you will find our weekly series called Thanks, I Hate It. When Ed hangs up with us here, we're going to be bullshitting for a little bit longer, and you'll get to hear that only on the patreon.com. As well as, if we get 10 patrons at the $10 level, we will record and release a 90-minute commentary track for the Japanese puke fetish porno video, Garo Monster Home Delivery. I am eagerly awaiting my inbox every time I say those words, and yet nothing. Coming up soon, you'll be able to hear me as a fictionalized version of Stephen King on the show submitted for the approval of the Midnight Pals. It's midnightpals.simplecast.com. Thank you, Ed, once again for hanging out with us, chewing the fat, as it were. As we always say at this time, namaste, good luck. Say goodnight, Ed.
Good night, Ed.